Hello, everybody. Tani, Sophia Acosta here, and I hope you're all doing well. So, today I would like to continue to talk about coming out. And I think what I would like to talk about is maybe the preparation. We've talked about a few things about subject material relating to coming out, some preparatory things, or some things to think about as you come out or, before you come out. Um, But today, what I'd like to talk about is what you do after or moving forward after you're coming out. So, anyway, I would like to just dive right into it. So, a few points in what to do after coming out. Number one, if you come, specifically, this is in reference to coming out to your parents or family. So, one, after coming out, it's possible that your parents might not know much about what it means to be LGBTQ and the process of coming out. You can actually help them to understand by giving them some information, some resources, or some credible sources. I would suggest to print out some information to have on hand during a discussion. Your parents obviously, as much as it's a really intense experience for us, also it's an intense experience for them if they weren't prepared being on the receiving end of this. And it may be difficult for them to remember all the information that you may give to them. So it's just good to have a hard copy to give to them after or during the conversation. Among the printed materials, what I'd highly recommend, what's been useful to me, is you may want to provide a website for PFLAG, which is an organization that helps families and friends learn how to be supportive and or help people with their acceptance process of their LGBTQ siblings, or I mean not siblings, their children. Additionally, you could provide them with a number of websites for LGBT centers in your communities, which may have some helpful facts and possibly even support groups. All right, number two. This is a big one. So this is now taking yourself out of where you are and understanding what's going on with your parents. So understand their stages of reaction. It would be super ideal if your parents your parents immediately reacted in a positive and supportive way. However, it may take them time or a while to reach that place. Many people will go through different stages of emotion. Knowing that ahead of time can help you deal with that. So again, I want to say that knowing that ahead of time will help you deal with it. I think gives you some perspective to deal with difficult reactions. So here are a couple things to keep in mind. Number one, your parents may grieve, which is actually very normal. They may have had a vision of who you are or what your future will be like. Grieving means they're coming to terms with the loss of, what their vision of you was. And we may have heard this before, but the 5 stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and eventually acceptance. But they don't have to happen in any particular order. Understand that grieving is very personal, and you really can't predict how long, they will be in one stage of the process. It's not linear, meaning they may go forwards, they may go backwards. They may experience multiple stages at once, or they may skip over certain stages entirely. As well, you may be going through the grieving process yourself during this time over your parents' reaction or fear of losing that relationship or having that relationship so profoundly changed, who knows where it may go. So just understand those are the stages of reaction. And even if you understand that on a theoretical level or a level like I'm explaining right now, we still go through those stages. So the other thing about moving forward after coming out is, keep the lines of communication open. However the coming out conversation ends, try to leave the door open for future talks. Tell your parents that you all need some time to process your emotions, but you hope that you can talk again soon. If your parents were verbally abusive or worse, you do not need to feel bad about closing the conversation. Remember that no one has the right to make you feel bad about who you are. So could I say that again? Remember that no one has the right to make you feel bad about who you are. Ask your parents if they would be open to attending a family counseling and or therapy. Look for someone with experience with LGBTQ issues, family issues, etc. A mediator can help keep communication clear and respectful and on a healthy path. Okay. 4, build your own support system. Whether or not your parents support you, it is really important that you find your circle of people that you can count on. Look for friends and relatives you can trust and turn to them when you need support. You can also find support on, perhaps if you're in college, you can find it in campus. If you're not, you can find it in maybe an LGBTQ center somewhere in the cities that you may live. And if it's not in your city, there may be many centers in this day of Zoom that offer extended services. As well, your community might also have LGBTQ-friendly churches where you can go and find new sources of support if you are religious. So that might be a really good option to explore. Okay. So anyway, these all sound like really simple things, but each one of them is a big deal, and it's something that can really, really help quite a bit. So this sounds really simple, but I think they're very powerful things to keep in mind as one goes through this process. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.